Right now, inside your urinary tract, microscopic mineral crystals are constantly colliding and attempting to assemble solid geological rocks, but your kidneys usually coat them in an invisible biological lubricant that forces them to slide away into nothingness before they can ever take root. A kidney stone is not a random health catastrophe. It is your body's urgent, high-resolution distress signal telling you that your internal ocean has lost its chemical equilibrium. Most people assume these sharp mineral structures form simply because someone forgot to drink enough water on a hot summer afternoon. The biological truth is far more astonishing. What you are actually looking at when a stone forms is a masterpiece of precision chemistry gone sideways, where your body's natural defense systems become overwhelmed by microscopic imbalances in mineral concentration, protein inhibitors, and fluid dynamics. To understand how a solid rock can grow inside a soft human organ, you have to look at your kidneys not just as simple filters, but as hyper-sophisticated biochemical laboratories processing roughly 50 gallons of liquid every single day. Inside these organs, millions of tiny functional units called nephrons are constantly balancing salt, water, minerals, and waste products to keep your blood chemistry perfectly stable. Every second of the day, your kidneys are deciding what to keep in your body and what to flush away. Now, imagine taking a single glass of hot water and stirring a spoonful of sugar into it. The sugar dissolves completely, becoming totally invisible. Add another spoon, and it still disappears. But if you keep adding sugar, you eventually reach a critical threshold known in biochemistry as supersaturation. The liquid simply cannot hold any more dissolved solute. If the water cools down, or if even a single tiny grain of dust drops into that glass, what happens? The dissolved sugar suddenly snaps out of liquid solution and transforms into solid, hard crystals right before your eyes. This exact physical phenomenon is happening inside your kidneys every day. Your urine naturally contains high concentrations of calcium, oxalate, phosphate, and uric acid. Under normal conditions, these dissolved minerals float past each other harmlessly like ships in the night. Your body keeps them dissolved by maintaining a precise balance of fluid volume and by deploying special molecular bodyguards known as crystal inhibitors. One of the most remarkable of these inhibitors is a specialized glycoprotein called uromodulin, historically known as the TAM horsefall protein. Uromodulin is manufactured exclusively in your kidneys, and its primary job is to physically bind to microscopic mineral fragments, wrapping them in a slippery biological coating so they cannot stick to the walls of your renal tubules or lock onto other crystals. But when your internal fluid volume drops or your dietary intake of certain molecules spikes, the concentration of minerals breaches that critical supersaturation point. Suddenly, tiny calcium ions and oxalate molecules collide with enough energy to overcome their protective barriers, forming a stable microscopic core in a process called nucleation. Back in 1992, Dr. Frederick Coe and his research team at the University of Chicago published a landmark investigation demonstrating that kidney stone formation is rarely caused by a single elevated mineral alone. Instead, their work showed that it is driven by a complex interplay between mineral supersaturation levels and the tragic failure of natural protein inhibitors like uromodulin and citrate to keep those minerals apart. When these protective proteins are overwhelmed, microscopic crystals do not just float away, they begin anchoring themselves to tiny calcified patches on the surfaces of your renal papillae, known as Randle's plaques. Once anchored, these tiny mineral seeds act like biological magnets, attracting layer after layer of fresh calcium and oxalate out of passing fluid. By the way, if you are finding this breakdown of how uromodulin proteins and molecular supersaturation work inside your daily biology fascinating, take a brief moment right now to subscribe to Bodydecoded and leave a quick comment below. Sharing how these microscopic mechanisms function helps signal to the platform that real, grounded human biology content matters, allowing us to keep breaking down the hidden living machinery operating inside your body every single day. Now, once those mineral seeds anchor themselves, they enter a phase of accelerated aggregation. Microscopic crystal lattices lock together, building a dense, razor-sharp geometric matrix atom by atom. The biological environment of your urine dictates every single step of this construction process. For instance, the actual pH of your urinary fluid dramatically dictates which type of crystal can take root. If your urine becomes overly acidic, uric acid molecules lose their solubility and form exceptionally hard, jagged yellow-brown stones. If your urine leans too far into alkaline territory, calcium phosphate crystals rapidly precipitate out of solution, constructing dense, chalky mineral formations. Think of your urinary tract like a winding mountain stream. If the stream flows quickly with plenty of water, any small pebbles are swept clean down the riverbed before they can accumulate. But if the stream dries up to a trickle, those pebbles settle into quiet pools, locking together and catching debris until they construct a solid dam that blocks the entire river. This brings us to the ultimate biological paradox of kidney stones, a discovery that completely turns traditional dietary advice upside down. For decades, millions of people who developed calcium oxalate stones were told by well-meaning observers to immediately stop eating calcium-rich foods like dairy, yogurt, and leafy greens. It seemed logical on the surface, right? If your body is forming calcium stones, simply remove the calcium from your diet. But human biology is far cleverer and far more interconnected than that basic assumption. Cutting calcium out of your diet actually makes your risk of developing kidney stones dramatically worse. Here's the mind-blowing metabolic mechanism behind why that happens. Oxalate is a naturally occurring compound found in many nutrient-dense plants like spinach, almonds, beets, and dark chocolate. Plants use oxalate as a chemical defense mechanism. When you eat these foods, oxalate enters your digestive tract. Now, if you have plenty of natural dietary calcium sitting in your stomach and intestines at the exact same time, something brilliant happens. The positively charged calcium ions and the negatively charged oxalate molecules lock hands right inside your gut, forming an insoluble compound called calcium oxalate. Because this compound is bound together inside your digestive system, your intestines cannot absorb it into your bloodstream. It passes completely harmlessly out of your body through your stool. However, if you strip calcium out of your meals, that dietary oxalate travels through your digestive tract completely unattached. Without calcium there to trap it, free oxalate molecules pass effortlessly through your intestinal wall, enter your bloodstream, and travel straight to your kidneys. Your kidneys filter that excess oxalate into your urine, and because your urine is concentrated, that flooded oxalate immediately hunts down any free calcium floating in your renal tubules, locking together to form sharp internal stone formations. This biological reality was definitively proven in a groundbreaking 1993 prospective study led by Dr. Gary Curhan and published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Dr. Curhan and his team tracked over 45,000 men with no prior history of kidney stones over a 4-year period. What they discovered shocked the medical community. Men who consumed the highest levels of dietary calcium actually had a 34% lower risk of developing kidney stones compared to those who consumed low-calcium diets. Let that sink in for a moment. Eating more natural calcium reduced the risk of forming calcium stones because it protected the body from free oxalate absorption in the digestive tract. It is an astonishing reframe. Your body is not manufacturing rocks because it has too much calcium. It is growing rocks because your digestive chemistry and fluid balance lost their synchronicity, allowing rogue oxalate molecules to hijack your renal system. So how do you take this incredible biological knowledge and actively support your internal laboratory right now? Here are 3 specific, scientifically grounded protocols to change your internal chemistry starting today. First, employ the food coupling protocol. Whenever you consume high oxalate foods, such as a spinach smoothie, a bowl of almonds, or dark chocolate, always pair them with a source of natural dietary calcium in the exact same meal. Adding a serving of plain yogurt, a piece of cheese, or calcium-enriched plant milk directly into your stomach alongside high oxalate plants creates that digestive trap. The calcium and oxalate meet and bind inside your stomach, completely preventing the oxalate from ever reaching your bloodstream or your kidneys. Second, activate the citrate decoy strategy. Citrate is your urinary system's ultimate natural biological weapon against stone formation. When you consume fresh citrus juices, especially natural lemon juice or lime juice mixed into water, citrate ions filtered into your urine perform a brilliant double-action defense. First, citrate binds to free calcium in your urine, creating a highly soluble calcium citrate complex that stays completely liquid. Second, citrate actively attaches to the surface of any tiny existing microscopic crystals, creating a smooth protective shield that physically blocks new mineral layers from sticking to it. Aiming for fresh lemon juice in your daily water intake raises your urinary citrate levels, actively coating your internal machinery in biological armor. Third, execute the nighttime hydration protocol. Most people do not realize that the highest risk window for crystal nucleation happens while you sleep. During the night, your brain releases antidiuretic hormone to prevent you from waking up to use the bathroom, causing your kidneys to concentrate your urine to its absolute maximum density. This creates a 7 to 8 hour window of intense mineral supersaturation around 3 or 4 in the morning. Drinking a large glass of pure water right before bed and keeping another glass on your nightstand to sip if you wake up dilutes your urine during its most chemically vulnerable hours, keeping your internal river flowing smoothly while your body repairs itself. When you look at your body through this lens, your perspective on internal health completely changes. A kidney stone is not a mystery, nor is it an act of betrayal by your anatomy. It is an architectural distress signal, a clear, microscopic message from an extraordinary organ that is working tirelessly to balance your internal ocean against impossible chemical ratios. Your kidneys are executing millions of complex biochemical reactions every single minute just to keep you alive and stable. What high oxalate food do you eat most? Make sure to tap that like button right now as a quick practical bookmark so you can easily return to this exact scientific breakdown whenever you want to double-check your body's mineral balance strategies. You possess a magnificent biological machine that responds instantly when you give it the right raw materials and fluid dynamics. Subscribe right now so you do not miss our next deep dive into your body's hidden machinery, which we are already researching for you behind the scenes. See you next time.